Hi, today I will be explaining how to use a Smart Loft Tool. The geometry node-based modifier I created to loft between the curves. It has a couple of features I will be explaining. After choosing, you will get a blend file in which you will find 5 examples created using this tool, each of which is a representation of some of the features that this tool has. In a new blend file, I will start by adding a new bezier curve. I will append the modifier from the blend file that I downloaded. Next, I will add the modifier by searching for Smart Loft. In the edit mode, I'll just shift duplicate. And this is how I created my first loft. Here in the main settings, I have a couple of parameters. Loft curve resolution controls the resolution of the loft by resampling the input curve. By default, the order of these splines is defined by its creation sequence. You can change that and make the order of these splines based on their position in the selected axis. For example, here I will select the Y direction. When working with cyclic splines, I can control how the caps are generated. For example, here in this perfume model, I can fill the end cap or the start cap. Same applies for the main body. Cap inset controls the amount of sharpness or smoothness around the caps that generated. You have 3 types of transition between the splines. The first is linear. It generates a sharp transition between the splines, but you can change that by controlling the smooth iteration. And you can change the resolution by increasing or decreasing the amount of cuts between the splines. Cut Room creates a smooth transition between the splines based on the cut room spline interpolation. It automatically generates this curvy look, and you can customize the resolution by checking this one, increasing or decreasing the resolution. And lastly, bevel, which bevels these sharp transitions. In this example, I deformed this loft on this curve through the deform and curve section, and the deformer axis is Z direction, as obvious. Relative will snaps the deformed loft on the deformer curve, and the same thing I made for this handle, this T-bot. And we can use tilt of the deformer to control the rotation of the lofted geometry, like that. And also we can use the radius to control the scale of the lofted geometry. This advanced section, you can offset your loft by profile curve. Here you will notice that there's nothing had happened. That's because your offset should be in the D direction. And that's why these guides are here. It tells you that the offset direction is the Z direction, and your spine is flat. So when you rotate it like that, you should see the effect. And also, nothing had happened again. That's because there is no cuts between the lofts. So in the transition between the splines, I will increase the cuts. And here you go. And the cool thing is that you can create many splines, control the offset. And you can smooth between these offsets from here. And when working with multiple splines, the offset follows the relative spacing between these splines. So changing the position will affect the position of the offset. In per transition offset, you can create many offsets for each transition. by checking here. Scale by lens. Just will scale the offset based on the transition lens. Clamping the offset will clamp the offset so it doesn't go infinitely. You can switch over the guides when you get used to this workflow. Y direction defines the spline's position. X direction spline defines the flow of the splines. And the Z direction, as we mentioned before, it defines the offset direction. With a sample normal, you can blend between different shapes. All will control the amount of sampled normal area. You will notice that there is an outline here, just because blender pivot. You can switch it over from here. I made the same thing also for the handle. So this T-boat looks like it's one mesh. After you finish adjusting your loft, you can turn it into a parametric. Straight offset and make the offset straight. Switching it off makes the offset follows the original flow of your geometry. Inner mask attribute that gives you a mask. You can use it later in the shader editor to give the inner area a different material from the outer one. Scaling the offset will not affect the look of your original UV map. And lastly, you have two types of UV map. Generated follows the geometry of your loft, and box projection uses the position of your geometry in the world space. When you increase your loft resolution like that, and you notice this weird smoothing, that's because of the original resolution of your curves. Increasing it will solve this issue. So make sure that the resolution of all your curves is very high, so you get a smoother appearance. If you wanted to use the bevel modifier to get a smoother look around the edges of your parametric design, sometimes it doesn't work because this option, clamp overlaps. When you disable it, it will work. So put that in your mind. If you reach the end of the video, I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And as always, have fun. See you in the next time.